generation right now in terms of just getting on base, working at bats.
You can hear it in the background. Breaking news, something I don't do often. Former, now New York Yankee Juan Soto has picked a team. My name is Brent Reid. This is Downright Sports. This is a special Downright Sports podcast. It's also a special Downright Sports clip. Fun fact, I'll talk about that in a second. But breaking news just came across the wire. The New York Mets have signed all-star outfielder Juan Soto, 15 years, $765 million. That is a record. It's the most money. The Yankees offered Soto was 16 years, 760. Wow. The Mets went up by 5, and it changed it. They gave him fewer years and just a little bit more, and that was the difference. The Red Sox bid for Soto was 15 years, 700. These are reports that are coming through right now. I'm getting a lot of my news feed from the MLB Network. Again, I'm Brent Reid of Downright Sports. This is breaking news. Juan Soto has signed a record contract, a record sports contract for North America, where he will get $765 million for 15 years. It's now the longest contract. Francisco Tatis Jr. has 14 years. Julio Rodriguez, 13. Bryce Harper, 13. Their contracts, without a doubt, compared to Soto's. Are you ready for this? Their contracts are roughly around $400 million less than Soto. Soto last year had a fantastic season. He had about 40 home runs for the New York Yankees, helped the Yankees get to the World Series, and now he is going across town. He's going to take the 4 train from the Bronx to Queens, and he's going to go play for the Mets. This is big. This is historic. You heard me say the numbers that was offered to him, and it looked like the Mets beat it. Steve Cohen, who purchased the Mets about a few years ago, is known. He wants to be flashy. He is this generation's George Steinbrenner. And to kind of give you an idea, when George Steinbrenner purchased the Yankees in 1971, in 1973, when free agency started, George Steinbrenner made a splash by going to get Catfish Hunter. But then in 77, he made an even bigger splash, signing Reggie Jackson, at the time a legendary contract, $1 million contract. And now Soto, some almost 50 years later, has done it again, historic contract. I just did a Downright Sports special episode, and I initially was going to talk about Juan Soto, and I actually decided not to and to save it. He has a opt-out clause. There are bonus incentives. He also has an opt-out clause after 5 years. Playing for the Mets, he's probably going to have to use it. I was initially going to talk about this. There's more details to come. But I stayed away because I was like, I'm doing a show Tuesday. I'll cover it Tuesday. And then my mother, thanks to my mom, sends me a text and just said, "The Mets, shocking face." And I have to respond back, what in the world? So the Mets now, once again, Mets signed Juan Soto, 15 years, $765 million. Soto he won a World Series with the Washington Nationals in 2019 when he was just 19 years old. He's 26 now. Went to the World Series again as a Yankee, and a lot of Yankee fans, including myself, wanted Juan to come back. Here's where things are going to get interesting, and I'll touch on where this ranks historically, where he ranks. Last year, Shohei Ohtani broke the world where he signed for like $650 million, and he kind of oh my God. And it was always reported, whatever Shohei signed for, Soto would probably break it. Soto's agent is, God, I can't think of his name right now. Scott Boras, the legendary baseball agent who's known for just stealing money from baseball, and he has done it again, and he's made it work. What does this mean? Well, The Mets' lineup last year, the Mets was good enough to make the playoffs. Is Soto that much of a difference maker for them? What is the investment here? Well, it's got to be World Series. It has to be constant playoff appearances. It has to be so much more than just what this means. And as I look up some research and as I pull up Soto's numbers and try to decide, not anger. As a Yankee fan, and here we go, Soto turned down 15 years, $440 million from the Nationals in 2022. He's got more years, and he's going to play with the Mets. If you're a Nats fan, if you're a Phillies fan, if you're a Braves fan, if you're a Nats and a Phillies fan, you're probably like, dang, he signed with the Mets. I'm just going to go into things right now. Historically, Mets making big splashes like this have not turned out well for them. They still paying Bobby Bonilla, and they've been under like 4 different ownerships regimes, and each owner has to pay Bobby Bonilla. The Mets in the past have made big splashes, whether it was Cespedes, whether it was Johan Santana, Carlos Beltran. The list goes on of the names. Steve Cohen, the owner of the Mets, has decided I'm going to win the offseason. Here's what the problem is. You're paying this guy an absurd amount of money. You have not, your roster is okay, but it's not world beating. You don't have a really great pitching staff. So the question is, what do? Do you have enough money? Like Soto's contract is worth at least 10 teams' salaries right now. In fact, let me look this up. Sorry, I'm looking it up. This popped up, like this just happened. All right, so sorry for the dead silence, but I'm going to get a list of some of the payrolls for a lot of MLB teams. Okay? Right now, what Soto just got paid, he has a higher payroll than every team in baseball, including the one he just signed for. Granted, it's not, but this is like their yearly payroll. But to give you an idea, the Baltimore Orioles payroll this year is $100 million. The Cincinnati Reds is $100 million. The Guardians is under $100. He's going to make yearly with some half. His yearly is the Oakland Athletics. Well, whatever city they're going to play for. But that's the crazy part to tell you. Juan Soto is a great player. Okay, is phenomenal, right? But when you pull back a little bit, and I this is what my segment was going to be, is he going to be worth it? This is a 26-year-old kid with no MVP awards. It's a 26-year-old kid on this past year alone with the Yankees was not the best player on the Yankees. Aaron Judge was clearly the better player on his team. Home run wise, he's on track to make history. Yama 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 yama. But do you feel like, could you sit here honestly today and say you feel confident enough that Soto is going to be that much of a difference for his pay? Like you're saying he is all time. That's what it is here. And I'm curious to see how this is going to, we're all going to be all eyes now on where this plays out. If you're the Mets, if you're a Mets fan today, you celebrate without a question for 2 reasons. One, you beat the Yankees, not on the field, but you beat them at their own game. You out-Yankeed the Yankees. Like, congrats. Like, that's huge for the Mets. You're going into this season with tons of optimism. The upside, Soto is a healthy player. He doesn't miss games. He doesn't sit out. He doesn't get freak injuries. Here's some more stuff. To give you an idea, Soto's contract, Shohei's is 10 years, $700. Mike Trout, 12 years. His contract ends in 2023. That's a shame. Mookie Betts, 12 years. Aaron Judge got 9 years. Judge, it's insane. to think about. Really, it's insane to think about. But you're a Mets fan. You just got the player that people have been pining for since the day the Nationals let him go. The Nationals traded him away. The Nationals had him, traded him to the Padres. The Padres knew they weren't going to sign him, and they traded him to the Yankees, and the Yankees had an entire year to sign this guy. And I'm not going to stay long on this, but Hal Steinbrenner today, and I'm going to contradict a lot of what I'm going to say. Hal Steinbrenner today has failed in the eyes of every Yankee fan because we are measuring him to what his dad did. And I know the 80s, but what George made clear is what he was always trying to win. Hal seems content. Hal and his boy toy, Brian Cashman, seem very content when getting players from the dollar store. They are comfortable with just taking mediocre players. Them signing Aaron Judge was like pulling teeth. And Aaron Judge is a once-in-a-lifetime player. He's proven that. 2 MVP awards. He's almost hit 63 times in his career. He did it once. And they didn't think about signing him. And now they let a player like Juan Soto leave. And they didn't let him, like, God bless America, he didn't go to the Red Sox. But you let him go to the Mets, where you're going to face him twice a year. They're going to, and like, the thing George always said was you beat the Mets. Period. You beat your little brother. And they failed on that. Soto this past season hit 288 with 41 home runs, 109 RBIs. He clearly was one of the more standout players. I'm going to pull up his numbers real fast to see, like, compare him to Shohei. We all know Shohei plays 2 positions. I kind of could argue. Soto's career numbers are, he's a 285 hitter. He gets roughly around 100 RBIs a season. He's not a stolen base machine. If you look at his numbers here, just based on what he's done, his career high in batting average was 2020. I think that he hit 335, 331. He's only hit 300 of handful twice in his career. Other than that, he's just around 280, which doesn't make you a terrible hitter. It doesn't. Home run wise, this year was a career high in home runs, obviously playing in the Bronx. He hit 30 twice in his career, mostly around the 25 mark. RBI wise, 1, 2, 3. He's only had 3 seasons where 100 or more RBIs. And this is where I plagued the question. Is he worth the money he just got? I'm going to save that answer for Tuesday's show. But ask yourself now, Mets, you won today, but did you lose in the future? Because for the next 15 years, Juan Soto, good or bad, is yours. And I like to think of contracts like when the Seattle Mariners were trying to make a splash and they went after Robinson Cano. And Cano did no playoff appearances. Went out there and was forgotten. And then his career just went nowhere after that. And there's so many examples that I'm just like blanking on that I'll do on Tuesday's show. But today and for the rest of the year, the Mets have won. But it's going to matter. The Mets have to, between now, next year, and the year after, have to get a World Series. It hurts. I'm going to be real. As a Yankee fan, this hurts. I went to the second game of the year, and I watched Soto in that stadium. He got a base hit. The way the fans related to him, there was a lot of Dominican pride in the Bronx, and now it's going to go to Queens. And it's crazy to think he's not going to be on the Yankees. Even that 1 year he had with the Yankees was special. It was a lot of fun, but today it all has come to an end. And again, Tuesday's show, I'm going to talk about it a lot more, but I'm here to tell you now, if you're a Yankee fan, it's going to be a long year. Because unless the Yankees can make some splashes, getting Alex Bregman, and they can't get Blake Snell now, but the Yankees, you got to fill that void. You let a leader in the clubhouse and Anthony Rizzo go. You let Clay Holmes go to the Mets. What are you doing right now, Yankees? What are you doing? And apparently it's a lot of nothing. So congratulations, once again, breaking news. Juan Soto, 15 years, $765 million to the New York Mets, the biggest contract in sports history, let alone baseball. Once again, baseball makes history again. It does. So, hey, thanks for subscribing and listening. This is shocking. Brand new episode on Tuesday. I'm going to have more to talk about on Tuesday. And I'll have more details and we'll rank it and where it stacks. Soto's contract. Are you ready for this? Soto's contract is just around $375 million more than some other players. It's $65 million more than Shohei's. It's insane. It's insane. Thanks, everybody, for listening. Download the DJ Chase radio app. And as always, deuces.